Hello guys, welcome to another video. This part is rebuilding this 1/10 scale Nitro RC truck, and this is part 2. In the last part you saw me cleaning the vehicle and getting it ready for fitting of the next part. Off video I have fitted some shocks, I have set up the steering. I think those bits are a bit self-explanatory to include in a video, so I haven't included those. But today what we're going to be doing is, I've already installed the steering servo, I'm going to install the throttle servo, I'm going to install a radio system, and I'm going to get the throttle linkage ready for the central gearbox installation, which will be in part 3. So without further ado, let's get the body shell off. Let's take a look at the progress that has been made since you last saw this little thing on camera. So of course what we've done is we've installed 8 oil-filled shocks. These have been removed from the electric brushless brushed car, the Brontosaurus that you might have seen the out-of-boxing video of. So I've broken that one for parts now, taken off the 8 oil-filled aluminium shocks. Also I've replaced a few bits as well. I've replaced these body mounts. I've also done the steering. Now previously you may have noticed it didn't have a steering servo, didn't have any of the linkages, didn't have these connecting rods here. All of these parts I've taken from the other vehicle, the Brontosaurus. So I've taken the parts from there and I've used it for this one. So I've used all the connecting the steering rods there, and of course the steering system. If you're very eagle-eyed and in the know of these HSP cars, you would have noticed probably already that actually this steering servo is the wrong way round. This horn should be this side. The reason why I haven't been able to do it this side is because this connecting rod from the electric version of this car that I've took this part from simply isn't long enough. That's why I've got it this way round. I can't imagine it's going to have any effect on the steering. You can see steering is working as it should be. I can't imagine it's going to make any difference at all. It will do the job. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work on installing a throttle servo into there. I'm going to tidy up these wires. I'm going to get this wire under there into this box where it should be. And then we've got a few more bits to fit as well. So let's get to it. This part is part 2, and it's going to be on installing the electronics. Okay, so the wires to the servos, both the steering and the throttle servo, run underneath this plastic part here and come through this little hole. Now the only way to get them through this hole is actually to loosen the chassis screws underneath that hold on this part itself. This radio tray is connected from the back to the front, so I don't really want to be taking it off completely. I'm just going to loosen it now and attempt to thread the wires through this little hole there. So I've literally just taken out 2 screws. I've just taken out 2 screws just to loosen it enough, with an attempt to just lift this up just to get those wires under there. So this one's going to come round there, and then it's going to go under there. So let's lift it up. Okay, so as you can see now, what I've done is I've threaded the steering servo wire through the hole in the receiver tray. What I've done is I've actually chosen for the wire to go this side round. If you see, it comes round this way. Reason for that, I want it this side of this pillar. Reason for that is otherwise if it's the other side, could get in the way of the central differential gearbox with spinning parts. So next stage is to install the throttle servo. Okay, here it is, just a plastic gear throttle servo. I'm going to just install it loosely into there and then get the wire for this one threaded under the receiver tray as well into here. Once that's done, I will mount the throttle servo in its position, and after that we will work on just tidying up those electronic wires and actually just popping the receiver in there. I'm probably going to mount it nicely on the wall in there. Haven't got the lid for this radio tray just yet. That one is on its way. So once that gets here, we'll be able to work on tidying this one up properly, installing the on-off switch. So today it's just a very simple one really. It's just a case of popping the receiver in, popping the servo in, tidying up these wires, and let's get to it. servo. Let's just get the wire out. Okay. Now obviously the wire is going to want to go through there, don't forget to do that. I'm just going to sit the servo in its place just for now, just like that. And then we just need to thread the wire. Just need to thread the wire like so, so it's under there now. It's obviously going to be harder with this wire because there's already one pushed through. Okay, so that's through, so I'm just going to pull it through. And now we've got both of our servo wires installed into the tray. As you can see as well on this one, the wire goes under here as opposed to around here. The reason for that again is otherwise it could get into some moving parts. So next thing to do is just install the servo itself. So I'm just going to pop in 4 screws. These aren't the standard screws, these are just out of a screw packet that I bought. Okay, so once that's done, what we need to do is just install the 2.4G receiver. So I'm just going to pull my wires through, just make sure that they're through nicely. I'm quite happy with that. That looks good. And that one looks okay too. The routing looks alright. So what I need to do now is simply install the receiver system. So remember, channel 1 is your steering, which is that one there. Channel 2 is your throttle, which is of course that one there. Okay, so if I just for example show you, I've used adhesive pad, stuck the receiver nice and neatly in there, all the wires are nice and tidily put away. As you can see, there's room in here for 6-volt hump pack as well, plus the on-off switch. The on-off switch will sit in this area here. Obviously we've got the antenna tube there, that's going to run up and come up through the antenna tube which will be there, so that's nice. I've just powered it up, let's just have a look. So steering, all good, and throttle, all good too. Everything's looking very, very sweet. What I'm going to do very quickly now is just put on servo horn on here and get the throttle linkage ready for the installation of the engine. So you can see what I've done now is I've just installed the servo horn, installed the brake linkage ready, and I've also installed a new throttle linkage. We do have the old one here somewhere, but I thought I'll probably just, if I've got a new one on me, I'll just replace it with a new one. So if we have a look at the movement of the servo, obviously this will open up the carburetor there, and then that will close the carburetor there. So obviously it needs setting up, and until you've got the engine actually onto the car, you don't really know which way it needs setting up. But really, really pleased with the progress. I'm certainly very happy with the progress of this one. It seems to be going very, very nicely. Car's looking very clean and tidy. The servo's all installed, both the servos installed, clean fuel tank. Really now it's just ready for the central differential gearbox. I've got all the parts that go alongside the gearbox. The only part I'm waiting for now is the gearbox to arrive, then I can assemble the gearbox. That's going to be the next video. Then the one after that will just be installing the engine, and then it's all done. The body shell, I'm using the body shell from the Brontosaurus, the orange and blue one. That looks quite nice. Let me see if I can get that on angle for you. There it is, down there you can see. That's the body shell I'm going to be using, just next to the Hyper 7. Down there, those are all the parts ready to do this one up. So just waiting for the central differential gearbox. That'll be in one of the next videos of this one. That'll be the next video, how to set up the diff gearbox in this one. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. If you like this video, please share the video as well. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you in the next.